Hi and welcome to the Aaron Roussos podcast. Welcome to episode 5. How exciting, we're already up to halfway. Episode 5 of the Cancer Reverser. Okay, so this is just explaining experience that I had back in 2019 when after I'd healed myself of something different. And this is fascinating stuff, and hopefully we can help you out a bit if you've got cancer. If you listen to the first 4, there's been some pretty amazing things that have been sort of stated and said and told. I'm not going to share anything that I haven't physically seen with my own very eyes and witnessed firsthand, because that's just the way I operate. When you're talking about something so out there, the cure for cancer, it's really going to be one of those aha moments when we realise that the cancer that we've got is a result of a lot of things that we're addicted to and a lot of things that we do in our daily life. It's a lifestyle and marketing disease. A tumour is an unnatural growth in a natural system. Very important to know that. And, I mentioned in episode 4 that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So your mind is just as important. And I gave an example. 2 people that flew a couple of years ago to me from around the world, 2 different cases. One looked at my list of do's and don'ts and went, yep, I'm going to do it to the T because that's what's worked with people 100% of the time in the past. And someone else took it and was a little bit unsure. And they said, oh, no, I don't think taking toothpaste, using fluoride is going to make that much of a difference. So all the little things and using phones and bits and pieces that I said was unnatural and needed to be done all in one thing to get that state of homeostasis so the body doesn't recognise it and the cancer doesn't recognise that body and it wants to go and live somewhere else. Cancers can't live in certain frequencies in certain environments, and that's all I'm doing is just creating that environment where it can't live. So the lady, it's heartbreaking because I know these people, but I really had to get over it because I have been on such an emotional journey myself through all this process and my own healings and family and people I've healed and all sorts of stuff. But this one really, this one is a bit of an example, I guess, that one person goes, Aaron, yeah, I understand everything's natural, everything's unnatural. Yep, let's do it. Another person sort of half-heartedly went, nah, that's not going to make much difference. That won't make a difference. I'll just do that. And yeah, I'm not going to get organic food. And I like that, so I'm going to have my now a stack. And they took on a lot of the stuff. Don't get me wrong. They took on, a lot of lifestyle stuff and happy, emotional code. And so obviously it was heartbreaking last month when I saw online that she'd passed away. So what do I do with that sort of information? Do you know what I mean? I go, hey guys, here's someone who got my program, didn't do everything to the T and passed away, and maybe a year later. And here's someone who did everything and is now thriving in remission for a year. That's the difference. That's what we're talking about. You've got to remember, it doesn't matter whether it's, healing of cancer or getting to the moon or, anything that we do. At the end of the day, the only reason we don't do something in life is because we don't know how. Back in the days of me working in arenas and stadiums, I wanted to get a gold plate award. And I always thought that they were rigged and bits and pieces. And one lady, this facilitator that works with, banks and boards, and she does strategic facilitating. She's like, help me to facilitate. And would you believe 9 months later, I'm up on the stage collecting a gold plate award. Now, I didn't know. The only reason why I hadn't got a gold plate award all those years is because I didn't know how. One person and a tiny little bit of knowledge, and all of a sudden, I'm in the game. I know how. I know how to win it. I know how to be a winner. And that's what this program is. Do you want to be a winner? I mean, this one, the winner part, you get to live. It's not as, it's a pretty serious game to play, isn't it? The facts are the facts that I'm talking about, despite there being evidence-based proof. You know what I mean? I've never not, those people that flew to me, obviously they're doing things off their own bat, but every time one of my family, and it's only really immediate family and friends that I help, I fly to them and I move into their house and start cooking for them. And I get 100%. When I do my program, well, the creators program that I just channeled through, got the download synchronicities, worked with the laws. It just guided me. It sent me to look at this, look at that science, look at this project, look at that medical paper. Basically, when it's all done like that, I get 100% success rate with the worst cancers that you have ever seen. 3 days to 3 weeks diagnosis, the worst of the worst, and they're all still alive today. And so could you be, if you want to. It's up to you, okay? This is either going to be, hey, getting through because you know something's resonating, something's going, yeah, it's not right. Hey, he's actually making some sense. He's got some science behind it. Wow, doctors even know this stuff. Doctors only work within what they're taught to work in, and they're so highly regulated that they can't even step outside that. I have had many a conversation with many doctors, and I've got known doctors, some doctors in my family. I've got a cousin who's a high-up doctor, and also my own personal doctor, and he doesn't want to talk to me about this stuff. It's outside, and so if you go outside the AMA or any body, APRA, whatever the body that governs doctors, they will take your license away, and then your $250,000 job and your BMW and all the rest of it, they would rather have that and kill people than find a cure for things. That's the way the system works at the moment. It does not care about you. You're giving all your time, all your energy, all your conditioned, here I am, to a system that wants to rot you, take your money, make you buy things you don't need, make you unhealthy, and then turn around and drop you and go, well, it's nothing to do with us. And so we're very trusting, and we're very, we trust people that are in positions to do the right thing by us. But no one is going to do it. No one's going to save you but yourself. You are the only one that can save you. And as I said, whether you're wrong or right, if you don't believe in what I'm saying, it won't work. Belief is key. Have you heard about Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison, the most prolific patent holder in the world, invented the light bulb and stuff, right? When he was 10 or something, 12. You can look this up. It's a true story. He came home from school with a letter, and his mum said, what's the letter? And she sort of opened the letter and starts sort of tears in her eyes. And she said, it says that your son is such a genius that we don't have the facilities or the faculties at this school to work with such a genius. There's no point in him coming to school. Can you keep him home and get him some specialised help? He thought he was a genius. So he went on and he did all this, and he was quite, anyone that knows him or has written about him or spoken to him, he was a little bit on the spectrum, wasn't the most socially adapted person, but he became that prolific inventor, and everyone sort of knows. He's a bit of a household name, I guess, now. So 63 years later, his mum passed away, and he went, I think she lived in England, he went to a house to clean out her stuff, and he found the letter. And he opened the letter, and the letter said, your son is a retard. He can't be taught anything. He's disruptive to school, and it's not fair for the other kids, so please keep him at home. We don't want him at school anymore. That mother, she didn't realise it at the time, but her love for her son changed the whole trajectory of his life. I have done that with people I've worked with. I've had a Taiwanese guy that I worked with in Darwin, gave him one of his first jobs, that came back to me 12 years later, flew halfway across the world, took me out for dinner and said, "What did you see in me?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm the general manager of the biggest Hilton hotel in the world. I've just won 50,000 American dollars. I'm doing this." And I said, "Mate, I just believed in you. I taught you how to believe in yourself." I'm a chef by trade, or that's a funny story. I've done a lot of chefing jobs, had a lot of restaurants and businesses myself. But basically, my last 3 apprentices, one won Apprentice of the Year in that state. One was on MasterChef. They were cooking against him for a immunity pin. He's gone on Key. Another guy, apprentice, went on to work in an exclusive place in Melbourne. I can't even go and work there. I'm not even good enough to go and work there. Belief is important. Yeah? So when you wake up and you say, "I am well," and you believe it, and you say it with conviction and intent, or you get up and go, "I've got cancer," and you get up and post your videos on that, and this is how my treatment's going, you make it all about the cancer, well, then cancer's coming for you, because that's the universe. That's the way energy works. It gives you what you want. When you stress over something, it gives you more of it. It doesn't know the difference between good and bad here, because what happens is the spirit part of life, right, which is the multidimensional, which is the esoteric, which is, it's singular. There's no duality. It's all cooperation. It all wants to help, right? Singular. Come to earth, duality, right and wrong, yin and yang. You've got a choice. You can get to the top. You can make the right decisions by the choice, and it tells you trajectory. So wherefore, when you get help from over there, and it's here, it's always giving you what you want, and it can't see the duality. It doesn't know duality. Yeah. If God wanted to find the answer to a question, honestly, without some dickhead pissing in his pocket, he would bring the question to earth. Because on earth we've got duality. We tell it how it is. There's the truth. Over there, everyone just wants to cooperate. Everyone wants to be helpful. So when you hear, that's why energies are matched. That's where the law of attraction comes from. Like attracts like. Yeah, it's like building momentum. Your energy goes where attention flows. Have you heard that before? Now, if your attention is on the negative parts of your cancer diagnosis, then everything's going there, and it's just going to want to give you more of that. You almost need to friggin' not ever post anything about cancer. Definitely don't talk about it, and only get on there to say, "I'm winning." Not, "I hope to win." I am winning. I'm beating this disease. I'm doing this protocol, which is naturally aligned, which makes perfect sense. And guess what? I'm beating cancer. That's the post you want to put on social media. I've taken all the chemicals out. I've taken everything unnatural out of my natural system, and my cancer is reversing. That's the post. Can you see the impact? That sends a ripple across the world, and it changes the world. And guess what? You're part of it. You don't think that an individual can change the world. I'm proof. I'm living proof, and soon you are too. So just remember, cancer is an unnatural thing that can be, if you know how it got there, you know that it can be reversed and taken away also. This is the topic of the day. This is the magic. This is what we're talking about. There's other things as well. There's subliminals, which is a message embedded into some music that you can't hear, but your subconscious can hear. And then that can be instruction sets to your innate. You never heard of this stuff, right? I'm healing incurable diseases with instructions from the universe. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm bored with cancer. I did that in the first 2 weeks of 2021 when I decided to run my healing modality through it, and I got it, and I'm bored with it. I'm moving on to, mutated gene diseases now, and I'm having great work with that as well. Yeah? So I can see this going to a world without disease, a disease-free world. That's where we're heading. But first, we've got to get your cancer sorted out, and we've got to make sure that we're doing it in a way that the universe is hearing it and the cancer's not comfortable. It's going, you know what? I'm not comfortable here. I'm going to get out of here. That's what it's all about. So that's episode number 5. This is the Aaron Russos podcast. Thanks for listening. Can't wait to see all your posts on social media saying that your cancer is reversing. Have a great day, noon or night, wherever you are. Bye.